If we pull on the invisible thread, we can see tarot. Like all true things, it's tied to every aspect of our lives.
3, 2, 1.
From the music that we love to the movies we watch and even the people we know.
Tarot is everywhere and everything.
Welcome to the invisible thread.
I think also too, like his emotional, in my notes, of course, I don't think he has much emotion as opposed to the Queen either.
That's right. Well, yeah, it's more like his emotions, he understands them, but he doesn't necessarily experience them.
Oh, yeah. He's more, you know what it reminds me of? Remember the movie Good Will Hunting?
I ask you about love. Probably quote me a sonnet. But you've never looked at a woman and been totally vulnerable. Known someone that could level you with her eyes. Feeling like God put an angel on earth just for you. Who could rescue you from the depths of hell. And you wouldn't know what it's like to be her angel. To have that love for her be there forever.
Of course, yeah.
Okay. Do you remember when Robin Williams looks at Goodwill and he goes, you know all this in the book, but you haven't experienced it?
Yeah, that's right. And he was talking about like standing under the roof at the Sistine Chapel and feeling that. Yeah. Yes, that's the King of Swords. You get it, but do you feel it? Which means you don't actually get it, right?
No, that's what you read and that's what you remembered.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
That's awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah. So the fixed energies like Aquarius are not experiential, whereas the cardinals like Libra or the Queen of Swords, they're experiential. They get in it.
And we're going to get to them in a few more episodes. I mean, we have so much to do when it comes to our episodes.
Oh, I know. And I have so many more planned already.
I know. Oh, here's one of the great things, people. We're going to have a party. We're going to put all the king and queens in one big room. And we're going to see what kind of mashup we could do with them.
The kings and Marie Antoinette style, it's going to be a blowout.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and it definitely would be, to me, I think this is a total masquerade party too.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's so Phantom of the Opera vibe to me.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, let me ask you something. You told me that you had some awesome success or result with something, with one of your reads a year ago. Can you tell me about that?
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a little more than, it was more like almost 2 years ago when I was kind of getting back into reading tarot in a larger sense. I've always done it, of course, for friends and family and stuff. But in thinking about how can I use that to help in a larger sense, I started practicing. And I went on some tarot groups on Reddit and offered free readings to people. And I gave one to one woman almost 2 years ago, and I heard from her the other day. She said she just came across the reading again in her messages and reread it. And she was like, it was 100%. That was 6 months after that reading, her person did return, which it did say in the reading. And now they're getting married. So she just wanted me to know that after that period of time, all of it started to become clear. And that's often the thing with tarot readings as well. You will be like, well, this isn't my reading. It doesn't resonate. But it's a energy sense, right? So it could be a long-term reading. It could happen next week. It could happen in 6 months.
Well, kindly happened to me. I was listening to a reader who I think Jen Zen or something. I like her, but she did a reading one time for Leo, and she said, you will do it differently you will start communicating through whatever gifts you have differently. And I think it wasn't days later I got that dream on how to build the cards in 5D.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I remember it vividly. It was like you will do a different way of communicating through your craft or whatever it was. And then I
Yeah.
got that dream.
And this is, I know this isn't on point to our subject, but this is something we should cover in the future about watching tarot readings, because we're naturally going to, let's say I'm watching a tarot reading today and they're like, oh, this King of Wands or this King of Swords, and they're in your life and this is how it is. My mind will associate that with somebody I already know, of course. It's going to go to probably who I would prefer it to be, probably who and then a few months later, that actual King of Swords enters the picture and you're like, oh my God, that's who I just didn't know yet. So you got to be careful with when you're associating the messages to your story, because you're going to put your preferred outcome there and you may not even know yet. It might not even come yet.
I used to watch tarot like crazy, like addicted style tarot. I don't do that anymore. I'm busy, I'm extremely busy, but it started to all get into my brain, and it was just too much information coming in. And I kind of know where my path is right now. So I don't need to be for me anyway. I don't like to pull in more stuff than I need when I already kind of know.
That's
And if
good.
I need to know something, I'll go search for it or it'll land on my lap. But your channel I listen to, by the way, Inward Eye on YouTube, you got to check her out. She's awesome.
Thank you. I think we both bring a lot of good stuff to the table. And what's good about your readings, you're like, oh, you're going to bang tonight. No, but they are that applicable to the daily events of life. It's taking tarot out of the philosophical and into the use. And that's what I think is awesome about tarot.
What did you think about my last Twin Flame reading? Did you watch it?
I did watch it. Yeah.
What did you think of that? You never, normally I get a little feedback or a reply, but.
I've been doing a lot of writing. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so have I. Oh my gosh. Are we doing swords? I mean, really?
We are doing the King and Queen of Swords right now. That's kind of the approach we're having to take to the projects, right?
Yeah. Just doing this podcast, to me is what King and Queen of Swords. I mean, you have to write notes. We're constantly checking stuff.
And the King and Queen of Swords, again, we didn't go into that too much, but they are very academic signs. Very. So they are not just like, it's a natural predilection for them, but like even on their first date, for instance, where they would go would be something intellectually stimulating, a museum, an art gallery, something they could talk about afterwards.
A play.
A play, yeah, where they've learned something.
Yeah.
And their mind's been engaged.
And
right?
to me, the King and Queen of Cups would be in Broadway. They would love to be in Broadway.
They would, yeah. It's true.
And to me, the King and Queen of Wands would do the Cirque du Soleil stuff.
Yeah. The King and Queen of Wands would like to dress up. That's their thing. So they'd probably want to go somewhere that they could get all kind of fancy and,
another masquerade ball.
Something like that. Yeah. And they're thrill seekers. They're adventurers. So.
And the King and Queen of Pentacles would go to me, I would think they would go to a winery.
That is a very good call. Yes, it is a very good call, because I often associate wine with the King and Queen of Pentacles, actually.
And they would also do like that couples cooking school stuff too. That's what I think.
Yeah, they would. That's very true. Yeah, the King and Queen of Swords are an interesting couple for me among all the power couples, because they are the most independent of each other as well. That goes along with that mutual respect thing. For me, those two are most likely to have friendship be the foundation of the relationship.
Yeah, and I definitely No, you're right. And I definitely sense that mutual respect. Like I see them having separate friends too, but geeky
Totally.
and dorky kind of.
Totally they would. Yeah. And you're most likely to find, well, Libra's a bit of an exception, but that's more astrology than tarot. You're most likely to find them to be the least possessive, the least jealous because of that neutrality that they're capable of, you
Well,
know?
to me, jealousy is beneath them because it's, oh, that's just an emotion you can control.
Yeah, and it's like even if that sensation of jealousy, and this is what I was saying about the water signs and why they can permeate the air signs, but if that sensation of emotion and it feels at all out of control, the sword automatically takes over. It's like I think you referred to that once as a switch being flipped. It was like, whoa, this is too much. Switch.
Yeah, it's what sword triggering, I guess. The path is inside you, and it's always just beginning.
We are forever grateful to share in the exploration with you. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for listening to Self Mastery, the practical art of tarot and astrology.